G'day and welcome to a live presentation of Hollyland's new Solidcom C1 system. I have that here. You might remember on this channel last year we did a review on the Hollyland Solidcom M1, which is probably like the bigger brother to this one, but now they've brought out this system which is a little more mobile and compact and transportable. So on today's show I'm going to show you through the paces of what this system can do. And we're going to test it out, do a range test, see what it's like using it on an actual shoot in New York City. But for now, I'm just going to go through some of the specs that we've got here. Let me have a look. All right, so we're looking at a Solidcom C1 1,000-foot full duplex wireless intercom headset system with a whole bunch of great technology in it, such as encryption and reliable transmission in the 1.9 gigahertz frequency space. It's wideband clear audio for precise coordination, and got noise cancellation, sort of acoustic echo cancellation here. We can stay connected over a 1,000-foot coverage zone, and we've put that to the test in New York, and I'll show you a video of that in a sec. And stability and security, this is the encryption that we're talking about. It has batteries that go in that side pad that you can see there, so they can work all day long. You switch out the battery, pop a new one in, and then recharge it. Very light, very comfortable. I have found it's good materials. I've been happy with the design and all that kind of stuff. So that's been cool. And it's just ready out of the box, easy to use. There's just like, there's no wires or anything. It's just that headset and it booms down. It's got there's a hub version of this that has an announce feature, so you can cut across people if there's an emergency. Hollyland sees it as being used for things like venues, concerts, this sort of live streaming thing, yachts even. I saw in their product video that they released yesterday, drones, any sort of field work, fashion show, house of worship, or live production. This is going to be a really great headset for you to use. So this is what it looks like overall, and I'll go through what I've got today, but there's 5 different variations on this. So we've got a 2-pair, so just like a master and a slave headset, and then you've got a 3-pair, 4-pair, 6-pair. That's what I've got here in this little case. And then there's a 9-pair one, which actually requires a hub, and from what Hollyland has told me, it requires the hub in order to operate. So the advantage of some of these other ones, like this 6-set one that I've got, is that the master headset is the hub that drives all of the other headsets. Whereas my understanding from what they've told me is that if you have the hub version, which is probably going to like double your cost, but you get more headsets, then you're going to need to have that base station in operation for all of that to work. The advantage is you can have 3 sets, so you could have 27 headsets that you're cascading across that. All right, so let's take a little look. Let's come back to, sorry, give me one sec here. Here we are, back on the screen. All right, so before we take a look inside this, I'm just going to play a video that I made on a shoot that we did in New York for a corporate client. It was just a small crew, so one of the advantages was we didn't have to set up a whole hub and base station, and we could really just, as a small crew, focus on getting the job done. We could communicate if someone was out of the room. We used the teleprompter as well, so that sort of just helped us communicate across a set without having to call out. So let's take a look at that video, and then come back and we'll have a look inside this case. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hello? She can't see more technique, but...
Okay. Do you want me to...
Take what? Could you turn...
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Over there? What was that?
Cool. And then we are easy to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We do a range test and see if it. I mean, it sounds like kind of like a telephone. Are you getting my breath?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, exactly.
A little bit.
We can break that down. Today we're doing a corporate shoot and we're using this Hollyland Solidcom C1, which is a new intercom system they've got out. The good thing about this is it doesn't need a base station at all. It just like you throw it on and put the boom down and then you're speaking, and so then we can speak with the team.
Yeah, I'm getting every word you're saying.
I'm just getting every word that I'm saying and I'm not even like exerting myself across the room. It just means that we can communicate to each other without having to bring an actual base station here and like set up more gear, so we can just focus on the lights and the microphones and the cameras and that kind of stuff without all of the comms being a whole nother role. Where is Michael? I can't even see him anymore. Oh, there you are. No, you're good. You just chill. You chill there. I'll get some B-roll of you. And then JP. Yeah. Roy over at the dog park. Any good dogs there? You're still clear? Still clear? I'm just gonna keep going for a walk. Getting some good exercise. JP, how are the dogs going? They're chasing each other.
23rd Street. Walk sign is on across 23rd Street.
Okay, so they're on 26th, I'm on 23rd. This is one of those range tests where I'm like, you know, you end up walking 10 blocks and you're like, oh man, I just wish the thing was there already. Hello? It's cutting out? Okay, so I've gotten between 22nd and 21st Street. There's very, very faint audio in the background, but it's indistinguishable. So I would say we're at the range of what we've been able to achieve here. So we can turn around and we're gonna go the other way, back towards the Empire State Building. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I'm back, I'm back. You still looking at the dogs? All right, I'm making my way back into the field. You guys wanna meet me back at that empty fountain? And we can congregate and we will review. This is around about 25th, 26th, and we got down to 22nd, 21st. So it's about 4-5 blocks. So that's the Solidcom C1. What I like most about it is that for field production work, I can throw it in a bag and I don't have to worry about setting up any sort of base station. That's probably the primary thing. Being able to have 6 crew connected without setting up any sort of base station makes communication on set very easy. All right, let's take a look. That's a look at the video in the field. As we go through and open this case, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I can respond to that and give you my best response from what I've been able to tell in terms of using this on a couple of shoots. So the one thing that I like about this case is that it's small and you don't even have to take the case. As you saw in the video, I was able to go to a shoot and just put a couple of headsets in. I only had 3 crew members that day, and so we just took 3 headsets. Didn't have to take 2 big Pelican cases, which if you saw at the very beginning of that video, I've got the Solidcom M1 stacked up on the shelf, and we use that when we've got like 8 people, or if it's like an all-day event where we want to be set up and just have a very reliable solid system with a 4-wire and a 2-wire into that to get program in. But for these types of shoots where you're in the field and you're just getting a lot of things on the go and you can't afford another crew member to just be like running comms all the time, then I think this is a great device to be able to not even think about the technical aspect of it. All right, so let's take a look inside. I'm gonna cut over to my head shot here and we can see what we've got in here. I've opened up some of this already. We've got a battery tray on the end, so that's a really nice 8 charge port in here with a 12-volt DC power thing, and there's a spot up here where, actually no, I think I put it in here. I obviously did not pack this away very well, which is also good because you can just, there's enough space to just throw things in there. And yeah, so this is the 2 amp 12 volt power for this charging station. And so they just pop out and they're very super light, very easy to do. I'm just going to put that over there. And in this one, as you would have seen on that product sheet, I've got 3 that are still in the bags. And then I've got 3 that are out that we've been using. And you'll notice here in just come in a bit closer here, you will notice that there are different colors on here. So red is going to be the master headset, and then all the other ones are going to have blue. So they're the slave units that are then being controlled by this headset. So if you're not using the hub, then there is only one channel, but otherwise there is a sort of A/B channel here if you have the hub version. I like let's put this on away. I like the materials. It's nice having, they've got in here, they do have some ear pads, so you could replace those with an over-ear type pad. But they come out of the box with these little foam pads, which I quite like in terms of just low profile and just sits on the ear. And then the boom arm swings either way, so you could put it on your left ear or your right ear. And when it's up like this, it'll be off. And then as soon as you click past about there, you probably heard that little click, that's now on. So when you swing the boom down, then it's on and people can hear you. So there's no actual on or off switch. It's just kind of where that boom is placed. So it's off and on. And there's just a little switch here on the side to turn that on. And that's really all it is to it. There's not really anything else in terms of this version of it where there's no hub that you can't do. So what else we got in here? More bags, more pads. Yeah, some foam replacement tips here. So there's a good bunch more things in there. But like I was saying, like I don't even necessarily use this bag. Like I might just take 3 headsets or 4 headsets, depending how many people I have. All right, so that's kind of a look at that's kind of a look at it. It's so simple. The quality is good. It's got these adjustable head size, so you can put that on like that. I'll pop on one of these. If we can come in here, so it'll just find a spot on your head, and then you adjust that. I think the one thing that I didn't quite like about the boom was when you've got it in close here to your mouth to speak, and you swing it up, it kind of it hits your head. So either you got to like swing it out and go up, or it sort of becomes a two-handed operation, which is not ideal if you're trying to operate and put something like operating a camera as well as doing this. There we go. I'll pull this off. All right, so I'm going to bring up my notes here. Okay, so what do I like about this? I love the form factor of this unit. I think it's just so practical. It doesn't need a base station, which means that we can just put a certain number of headsets for each crew in and not carry a whole nother case. They can just slide into the existing case. And it just sort of keeps us like small and nimble for smaller crews. The battery life seems good on this. It should get, I think it's about 6 hours. I have to double check on that. But being able to replace it means that you can always have something on charge, and then you can just flip that in and out. And just to cut back to here, where are we? All right, so this is the unit. Very nice little, kind of reminds me of those point and shoot camera batteries. And then it slides in, clicks down like that. Hang on. Okay, I was opening it as I was closing it. You just push it close and then it's done. Okay, and what else we got? Well made, good materials. The range was good. As you saw in that video, like we would have got 1,000 feet out of it, and this is in the middle of New York City, and so there's plenty of stuff going around there, lots of interference, lots of obstructions. And it was probably when we got more around the buildings that it started to drop out. So I would have no qualms with its reliability within a 1,000 feet range of the master headset. And I guess one of the main things is just that it's super simple to set up, which is amazing when you just want to have some communications and not have to worry about more gear to manage on location and getting bogged down with that. All right, so let's talk about the cons. I think my number one con with it was that in this version, which doesn't have the hub, there's no way to get program audio in. So with the hub version, you're going to have a 2-wire and 4-wire, so you'll have that base station and you can feed in program audio. But one of the big draw cards for me with this product is that on the 6 version, 4, 3, 2 kind of models, you've got just a very small footprint, and it would be amazing to be able to get program audio in. So I'm talking about probably just like a 3.5mm stereo in, which could be coming from your sound mixer, or it could be coming even from like the camera's like headphone out port. Imagine that if you could just have a little 3.5mm cable, and then you've basically got audio that you could send across to the whole crew so that they can listen to it. So in our example there, when we were doing a shoot with JP on auto cue, he had to be sitting closer to the talent so he could hear and do the auto cue. But if he could be placed further away and we could get her audio into him, into the headsets, then he would be able to just monitor that and roll auto cue without it. So I think there's like a market value for a small device, because if you think about it, you know, you don't need the boom, you don't need this headset, you just have a tiny little device with a battery in it and 2 lines in, and I mean, I don't know if you need some sort of antenna, maybe you do, but that would be a really neat way to add wireless audio and on scale to all of your crew members. So, you know, your boom operator could have it, the producers could have it, people could be listening into interviews and be further away from set. Great for social distancing, great for pandemic times that we live in. So I really hope there's some sort of accessory that maybe Hollyland could just invent and then release alongside that, because I think it would be a real game changer in terms of being able to add that into a wireless monitor like we had in that video, because it's nice not having cables. Like, it's nice this just being an all-in-one headset that just sits around the neck like this, and you can just go have your lunch and you don't have to worry about, like with the Solidcom M1, which is a more traditional like headset, and then the belt pack, you got this cable which you sort of have to manage and that kind of stuff. So this is nice because it's cable free, because you know it's all intact. And I think likewise it would be good if that unit that I want them to create had an audio out port, so that we could feed it into like an in-ear piece for a talent, and that would be just like a really useful way to get audio in and out of this system. So Hollyland, please admit that, because I think that would be a great advantage. All right, so if you've got any comments, drop them in the chat. I'm just gonna move this aside for a bit so I can have a look at my chats here. How are we going? Okay. Where are we? We have Ray says, wrong mic placement just below the corner of your mic. I'm not entirely sure what he means. Just below the corner. I'm not sure if he means me or if he means that. Eric likes this all-in-one, no body pack, which is pretty cool. Who releases anything on April Fool's Day? I was going to do this yesterday and then it got pushed back to today. So yes, this is not an April Fool's joke. This is a real product that you will find on B&H. Ray says adding program audio likely reduces battery life. I guess so, that could be true. I would rather have a beefier battery and be able to hear the audio. The problem I found with not being able to hear audio with a small crew is that if you are trying to monitor an audio recording and you're juggling 2 headsets, and it's sort of been a bad way to work. Which is another thing that I would love, is to have some of these headsets to have 2 earpieces rather than an open ear. Yeah, okay. Ray wants my microphone to be to the corner of my mouth, so I will, I think it's going up, yeah, at the moment. Excellent. Lack of program feed, didn't think about that, Eric. Yeah, so there is the 2-wire and the 4-wire on the base station version. but not having that on the smaller versions, I feel like takes away some of the value. That said, if you're needing an on-the-go run-and-gun solution, it is super easy to set up. You literally turn it on, and as long as you've got battery charge, you're going to be chatting to your crew and don't have to worry about exerting yourself over a set to, I would notice in that video when I was watching it back, and we were just recording it on like an iPhone video, but I was speaking very softly because I could hear the crew very well, so I wasn't even having to project over that. All right, let's take a look at B&H. I should have brought this one up earlier because I will go through the prices because they did come out on B&H yesterday. Give me 1 second. Hollyland C1. Okay. We have a new product. Okay. Cool. All right, let's go to Mac. All right, so what do we have? We have the full headset version. Okay, let's work our way up from down the bottom here. So we have, I'm just going to get rid of, give me 1 second. I'm going to get rid of this little comment here. Hang on a second. I got to go into here and get rid of that. Okay, so starting with the 2 headset version, it's going to be $499, it's $500. 3 headset version, $750. 4 for $1,000. 6 for $1,479. Not quite $1,500. Bargain. And that's the one that I've gotten. I've been showcasing today. And then the one that I haven't seen yet, they didn't send me that one. They sent me this 6 version. So quite a jump up in price from sort of $1,500 to $3,799 with this base station. So what looks neat about this base station is it seems to have V-mount power and NPF style batteries. So plenty of power options there, and its form factor, I feel like you could almost like slip that into a audio bag, possibly, maybe on the go. At least it would be easy to put on a desk when you're out in the field and that kind of stuff. So this is what I was talking here about. The hub version of this, if I move this around, is going to have the 4-wire in and the 2-wire in. Oh, and a program in there. That's very nice. Look at that. It's just like straight in there. You could feed in program audio. So that looks neat. Go get that version. If you got the money, go get that one. But if you're wanting something, cheaper and you just want like something nice for like 4 headsets for a crew, I think that's a great price. I did find the audio quality to be good. It's kind of like being on a very good phone line, and picked up maybe a little bit of breathing noise, but for the most part, pretty good. Yeah, so any other comments before we wrap up? Let's go back to here. Okay, yes, great question there. Audio quality and the comfort, like I just mentioned, it was good quality audio. I didn't have any problem hearing the crew, and I think the noise cancellation was good and all that kind of stuff. The quality feels nice. I feel like it's, it feels like leather, but it's probably not leather. I don't know. But it feels well made. It feels like it could be thrown around a bit, which is always something when you have gear and then you hand it out to crew and then who knows what they do with it. Eric says he thinks if he didn't already have another comms system, then this seems like a good entry for a minimum viable comms, and if the hub has programs, so much for the better. Yeah, I think this is a great way if you're wanting to just get some basic communication with your crew and you don't want to have much overhead in terms of setup and gear. I mean, the other thing is like if you guys watch this channel, I don't have a huge amount of space in here, so the more stuff I get in here is just like less space to move and to do creative things. So I appreciated that this feels like a good size addition to the stuff that I've got. So I've got some bigger stuff if we're doing longer term stuff that's on a location and just fixed in one place. And then for my everyday field shoots, corporate stuff, commercials, I feel like there will always be at least 2 of these headsets in my kit when I go out on a shoot, because it's because you don't have to pay for it in the weight and the size. Yeah. Muhammad says, he doesn't know if I said it already, but do the slaves talk to each other or only to the master? I think they only talk to the master. It's a good question. I wouldn't be able to say for sure on that, but my understanding is if you have the master off, then nothing's going to work, nothing's going to communicate. Whether or not that sort of forms some sort of mesh network that goes further out, I would doubt that. I think it's probably reliant on going through the master headset. Could you see a user wearing that for, say, 4 hours non-stop and still finding it comfortable? I think so, yeah. It's let me just put this back on to test it. I always find with this style of headset, it's this side that kind of presses on your temple a bit, but it's really light. Like it's not bulky, not heavy. It's very adjustable, and I think just the lightness of it will mean that it's easy to use and so comfortable to use over a long period of time. And also the fact that it's very easy to take off means that you can, when you're not using it, you can just, excuse me, chuck it around there, or take it off and just chuck it on the ground. And then when you want to, throw it back on, and you don't have to worry about, like, you know, cables that get around the back and then they get caught on the arm of the chair and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would say 4 hours, whole day, you could do that. That would be good. Cool. All right, guys. I am gonna wrap up now. So if you have any other questions about this Hollyland product, drop them in the comments below if you're watching this after the show, and we can answer any questions that you have about that. Definitely worth checking out. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that. And one more question came through. Are any of the parts replaceable? I think so. From what I've seen on their website, they do sell some individual units and some accessories. So I would hope so, because if you had this system and you lost your master headset and you had to buy a whole new set, that would be, you know, the cost of entry to that is not great. So if you check out Hollyland's website, which is Hollyland Tech, no, Hollyland's, I don't know, Google Hollyland and you will find it on their webpage. I think it's front of the page at the moment. And further down the bottom, they've got a list of accessories that they're selling with this. Mohammed also wants to know, great question, are there systems that allow different team members to talk to each other? There on the hub version, there's, I think, more processing. And so you have an A and a B. So you'll see on here, it says like an A and a B channel. So that's where with the Solidcom M1 that I reviewed last year, there were 3 channels. So you could put people into 3 different groups to separate people. This one has 2 channels, but as far as I'm aware, I think you do need the hub to make that work. Otherwise, everyone's on the sort of 6 headset for 3 and 2 versions of it. You are just 1 channel. And like I was saying, as far as I can see, no program audio in. So it's very much like just having a chat with people and walking away. Cool. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap up there. Thank you for watching. If you do have any more comments, put that into the in the comments section below, and we can answer that post-show. But for now, take care, and I will see you next week with another live show on Monday. So I'll see you then. All right. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hello? She can't see more typing, but...
Okay. Do you want me to?
Take what?
Could you turn
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Over there? What was that?
Cool. And then, what do you reckon? Easy to hear?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll do a range test and see if it, I mean, it sounds like kind of like a telephone. Are you getting my breath?
Yeah. A little bit.
Okay, exactly.
A little bit.
We can break that down. Today we're doing a corporate shoot and we're using this Hollyland Solidcom C1, which is a new intercom system that got out. The good thing about this is it doesn't need a base station at all. It just like you throw it on and put the boom down and then you're speaking, and so then we can speak with the team.
Yeah, I'm getting every word you're saying.
He's getting every word that I'm saying and I'm not even like exerting myself across the room. It just means that we can communicate to each other without having to bring an actual base station here and like set up more gear, so we can just focus on the lights and the microphones and the cameras and that kind of stuff without all of the comms being a whole nother role. Where is Michael? I can't see him anymore. Oh, there you are. No, you're good. You just chill. You chill there. I'll get some B-roll of you. And then JP. Yeah. Way over at the dog park. Any good dogs there? You're still clear? Still clear? I'm just gonna keep going for a walk. Getting some good exercise. JP, how are the dogs going? They're chasing each other.
23rd Street. Walk sign is on across 23rd Street.
Okay, so they're on 26th. I'm on 23rd. This is one of those range tests where I'm like, you know, you end up walking 10 blocks and you're like, oh man, I just wish the thing was out already. Hello? It's cutting out? Okay, so I've gotten between 22nd and 21st Street. There's very, very faint audio in the background, but it's indistinguishable. So I'd say we're at the range of what we've been able to achieve here. So I can turn around and we're gonna go the other way, back towards the Empire State Building. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I'm back, I'm back. You still looking at the dogs? All right, I'm making my way back into the field. You guys wanna meet me back at that empty fountain? And we can congregate and we will review. This is around about 25th, 26th, and we got down to 22nd, 21st. So it's about 4-5 blocks. So that's the Solidcom C1. What I like most about it is that for field production work, I can throw it in a bag and I don't have to worry about setting up any sort of base station. That's probably the primary thing. Being able to have 6 crew connected without setting up any sort of base station makes communication on set very easy.